In this episode, we are going back to Mackinac Island, one of those unique places in the United States. Then we're going to Vermont, not before stopping by Michigan's state capital, the Mothership in Indiana, a farm in Ohio, a broken bridge in Pennsylvania, and the Finger Lakes in New York. Oh, and also the Empire State's capital.
I'm riding with my RV, wherever I want to be, 'cause I'm free in my RV, yeah.
Well, today we did wake up at the crack of dawn because we're going to Mackinac Island. Yay! It is not necessarily close to where we are, but it is close enough that we decided to stay an extra night and make it a day trip. It is going to be about 3 hours after all is said and done, but I think it is going to be worth the drive. There's the Mackinac Bridge, also known as the Big Mac. We're almost there, in Mackinac City. It is $20 to park here, but it is free across the street, so I don't really mind walking. It is $27 round trip, and we made reservations for the 11 a.m. ferry from Mackinac City, which makes a detour and goes under the bridge, always a little more scenic. And there are 2 or 3 like that throughout the day. There it is, that's the Grand Hotel on Mackinac Island and the fort. And yeah, it is beautiful. Off we go. The bridge opened in 1957, almost 5 miles long. The longest suspension bridge with 2 towers between anchorages in the Western Hemisphere. It is an impressive engineering marvel, the sheer size of it. Lots of ferry traffic here from St. Ignace on the north side, Mackinac City on the south, where we came from, at this point here at the Straits of Mackinac, joining Lake Huron on the east and Lake Michigan on the west, the gap between the upper and lower peninsulas of Michigan. Here are some of the Victorian mansions on the island, and again the famous Grand Hotel. The Grand Hotel became internationally famous after it was featured in the 1980 movie Somewhere in Time. Here's once again the old Round Island Point Lighthouse, dating back to 1895, abandoned in 1947 and restored in 1978 after it was added to the National Registry of Historic Places. It was eventually relit in 1996. Now, what makes this island unique is an 1898 ordinance that prohibits the use of any motor vehicles on the island. And to this day, the only exceptions are emergency vehicles and snowmobiles in the winter. I want to say thanks to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. And if you're a creative person, like I'd like to think I am, you know our education never really ends. There are always new things to learn, new skills to be mastered, and that's where Skillshare comes in really handy. It is an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes for anyone who loves learning. Is there a specific skill you're working on? Well, make 2022 a year of new learning, growth, and connection through creativity. Let's invest in ourselves and our personal growth. And I've been using Skillshare for years now, and I've learned so many things. Even a couple of years ago when I switched to a new editing software, I just did a search, just for fun. And there it is, advanced video editing with Adobe Premiere Pro. I'm also thinking about learning color grading. I do some basic color correction right now when needed, but I would love to take it to the next level and make the videos look even more amazing. And there are hundreds of courses on that. Now, the first 1,000 of my subscribers to click on the link in the description will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare, so you can start exploring your creativity today. We're going to eat at Millie's on Main here because we're starving, and then we'll explore this unique place.
Love you guys so much. Have fun. Yeah, send me that list. So soon. Okay. Yep.
We came here, have some wine, and they have pasties. The white fish chowder. This is a pasty, not exactly what I was expecting, but it's filled with meat and potatoes and all kinds of good stuff. Yeah, that wasn't the classic pasty for sure. I was here in Michigan back in 2019, and I believe at the time I had something much more authentic. Up in the UP, without all that gravy, but this wasn't bad. Not bad at all. Now let's walk around a little bit. This island is also famous for its fudge. They do have some of the best here at Mardix. That's Fort Mackinac and Marquette Park, with a statue of Father Marquette with a bird on his head. Here we have St. Anne's Catholic Church, dating back to 1874. And here's Mission Church. We are near Mission Point. We're just taking the shoreline trail. There's Round Island Bar at Mission Point, which comes highly recommended, so we might return when we're hungry again. And the sun wants to come out. Look at the color on that water. Here's Dwightwood Springs, which means we're getting close to the Arch Rock. In fact, it is up these stairs. And there it is, Arch Rock. Let's take the Mackinac Island Botanical Trail back to the center of town. And here's a white pine, Michigan's state tree. This gazebo here was one of the filming locations for that movie, Somewhere in Time. And this is how they clean the horse poop from the streets. It almost looks like they're just spreading it around, but what do I know? This is the governor's summer residence. Not bad, not bad at all. Very cool to see the town from this higher perspective. This is the Trinity Episcopal Church. The town bustling with activity. Next time we come, we definitely have to stay overnight. Oh, there's a wedding photo shoot. And everywhere you look, it is picture-worthy. And there's the imposing Big Mac. Let's pay a quick visit to the Grand Hotel, although I think we've decided not to go inside today. We'll have our celebratory bubbly someplace else. It is so iconic, so classy, so opulent. Remember that one time we had the glass of champagne at the Coppola bar? Well, there's no one collecting the $10 fee to visit, so we could have snuck in theory, but it didn't feel like it. Very nice swimming pool. Oh yeah, that is the Grand Hotel. And we snuck out through the gardens, and now there's supposed to be a famous tree from the movie at this beach, but we couldn't find it. Super picturesque. And they're still taking wedding pictures. We're going to have our final celebratory wine here at Mission Point, at the aforementioned Round Bar, highly recommended by our friends Jason and Misty. How about some wine with a view? And Illy. Now the pièce de résistance is the fish dip. Oh, our boat is leaving. Hold on. Never mind. That was probably the highlight of our stay here in Mackinac Island. And definitely a fitting end to our few hours here. By the way, thank you, Jason, for the recommendation. And now we go back to the mainland. Our time here was definitely too short. Next time, we have to spend at least a couple of nights on the island, but we were so close, I just wanted to come with Illy. And next time, we'll stay at one of the bed and breakfasts, or who knows, maybe even the Grand Hotel. I've heard the vibe is completely different once the last ferry has departed. One of these days. I mean, today wasn't even part of the original plan, so I'm glad we got to do it and see something. It's travel time, and by the time we truly stop again, we're going to be in New England. First, we're gonna stop by Winnebago Towables in Middlebury, Indiana to get some things installed in Minitini III and to see some of the new models that didn't make it to the Hershey RV show. Lansing is somewhat along the way, so we're gonna stop briefly to see the state capital. At some point, I hope to see all 50. This part of Michigan, I could tell you we're in Kansas or North Dakota and you would believe me. Flat as a pancake. And here we are, Lansing, Michigan, the capital city of the Great Lakes state. We're just gonna drive by the Capitol building, maybe park briefly and continue. And there it is. One of these days, I'm gonna come up with some kind of ranking system of my favorite Capitol buildings, and from the outside, this one is pretty good looking. The current building dates back to 1878, and one of these days we'll come back and take the tour. It is supposed to be beautiful inside. But we've been kind of limiting indoor activities, and this will be no exception. Of course, there's construction going on, as it's been the case over the past couple of years with at least half of the Capitol buildings. I mean, I'm glad they are taking care of them, but at the time, it doesn't look pretty. To make a long story short, eventually we made it to the Hoosier State. The Indiana state line, boom.
Welcome to Indiana.
Well, thank you. And that's our welcome sign. This area is known as RV Capital of the United States, and it is also Amish country. Tomorrow, the technician is coming to install a backup camera, among other things, and the day after tomorrow, we'll tour some of the new models. Well, we're gonna begin, of course, with the smallest and lightest of them all, and this is the new Hike 100 series. They also have a production model of the Flex, the one I'm currently towing. Mine is a prototype though. So that's what the power systems look like. Someone told me the fall colors are about to peak in New England, so wasting no time, we've decided to continue on our journey. Still trying to avoid tolls, which usually makes for a more scenic drive. And you get to see towns like LaGrange here, for example. Eventually, we had to get on the interstate, otherwise we'll never make it to Ohio. And since we're going to be so close, I contacted our friends Jim and Barb. Maybe we can stop by their place and say hello. He's always wanted to show me the farm.
Welcome to Ohio.
Oh, thank you. US 30 here in Ohio, nice and wide, but there is some construction. We took US 23 in Upper Sandusky, and it is very nice too. And here's where we're gonna turn off the main highway. We're going to stop by the village of Morral, Ohio, where our friends Barb and Jem live. And Jem told me he might be able to get me to ride on a combine. And that would be super cool. It is harvest season, and everybody seems to be involved. Here we are, Morral, Ohio, established in 1877. Population 399 as of 2010. This is one of those places that barely show on the map, but so important in the process of how food eventually gets to our table. On the left here, the large grain elevator by the railroad tracks, where they are bringing all the soy and corn, and that's Jim on the red truck. It is a busy time of the year for them. Those soybeans he's carrying will eventually get on a train and the boat and travel possibly as far away as Asia. Let's park the trailer here at the Forry and Son farm and take a ride with Barb. We're coming to the elevator to say hello to Jim while he waits in line to deliver some soybeans. Here's Barb and Jim's place, the site of the original Samuel Morral house after whom the town was named. And now we're going to the field. Jem knows I've always been fascinated by farming equipment, me being an urban dweller all my life, so his cousin Bob has agreed to give me a ride on the combine while he harvests soybeans. There he is, his wife Marilyn driving the tractor with the grain cart. It is definitely a family operation. Even their 3 sons work the farm after they get home from their engineering jobs.
I think the idea is I'm gonna ride on that big combine, so that's kind of bucket list.
And there's Barb. She's living with my wife. Very cool to see the combine in action, and it is pretty high tech. You get all kinds of data about your current load and whatnot. As I mentioned, Bob and Jim are cousins. Their grandfather Clyde founded the farm back in 1945 on land he acquired from the Morrals, the ones who founded the town. In fact, way back when, one of Samuel Morral's sons married the Forry's great-grand-aunt Della, so it's all in the family. As for the Forrys, they've been farming here in Ohio since the mid-1800s, and before that in Pennsylvania, so it is definitely a multi-generational business. There it is, filling back up, and the way the header works, it cuts off the plants really close to the ground and moves the whole plant into the machine towards the center, into a conveyor, and then breaks and shakes the grains away from the stalks and sends them to the tank. The residue exits through the back. That's it in a nutshell. While the tank fills back up, his wife takes the previous load to the trucks and then comes back to start all over again. Fascinating. I definitely want to thank Bob for letting me ride on the combine and showing me how it's done. There comes Jim.
Hey, slow down, Jim.
We won't tell Bob. I've been reliably informed he doesn't usually drive that fast. But he knew we had to go, so he was hauling. And I got to ride on the truck too.
I did, but we're going back in Jim's truck now, everybody. So.
No, actually, another one of Bob's.
But yeah, that was a cool ride. We have to come back in spring for planting, and then in next fall for harvesting.
Yeah.
I want to see him harvest corn.
I forgot to film the rest of the way. It was just good conversation, catching up. And now we must continue. Someone needs to do some dust control here. Oh wait, that's Jim's business. Time to say goodbye for now to our friends Barb and Jim. And it's another one of those prolonged goodbyes. If I didn't know any better, I'd say they were Cuban, but I guess it happens in every culture. And why are we in such a hurry, you might ask? Well, we want to get to our destination before sundown, and we're staying at a harvest host. Here we are. It is an Amish restaurant called Der Dutchman, and they have a huge parking lot. It's a really good buffet, actually, and I love this kind of food. That was delicious. I hadn't been to a nice buffet in a long time. I probably ate too much, but I think I got my money's worth. Now tomorrow, on to Pennsylvania, upstate New York, back to upstate New York, and then Vermont and New Hampshire. Nice place. Good harvest host. I recommend it. Well, good morning. Greetings from Belleville, Ohio. It was a good harvest host night here at Der Dutchman, it's called. I definitely got my money's worth. In any case,
right onto State Route 97 West.
Now we're going into Pennsylvania, and hopefully tonight we'll be in New York. I wanted to take I-30 back east, retrace our steps from last week when I forgot to turn on the rooftop GoPro, but I'm bent on arriving in New England by October 1st, so the die is cast. We're taking the interstate. And we're back in Pennsylvania. Here's where we're gonna take State Route 66 towards this area called the Pennsylvania Wilds. Beautiful drive through Allegheny National Forest here. I think we've made a wrong turn, but we're back on the main road now. And here we are, Kinzua Bridge State Park. This is the site of what was once the longest and tallest railroad structure, the Kinzua Viaduct. That was until it was destroyed by a tornado in 2003.
We are the highest railroad bridge in the world.
And there it is. Well, what remains of it. Well, here we are. Let's walk on the bridge. Wow, look at that. You can only imagine what forces of nature were able to take down a structure of this magnitude. We're getting some colors, incipient, but colors nonetheless, and that was one of the main reasons we delayed this part of the trip, so it would coincide with the arrival of fall.
I wish it was clearer though.
Well, yeah, that's what remains of the old Kinzua Bridge here in Pennsylvania. At the time, the tallest bridge in the world. But a tornado came and gone with the bridge. That would be Kinzua Creek down there, and I haven't figured out the definitive pronunciation. Apparently, locals say it Kinzua, but then I read that in Seneca language is Kinzua, so someone please let me know. It's all true what they told me about this area. It is gorgeous out here. Came down to the lower viewpoint to see the wreckage from a different perspective. As we're about to leave, Susan and Stefan, who coincidentally were at the Hershey meetup a few days ago, stopped by and said hello. It's a small world after all. By the way, I've been reliably informed that the Zippo Museum here in Bradford is a must. Another time, perhaps. And we are now back in New York, the Empire State. We're gonna stop by the Seneca Nation truck stop, which usually has lower fuel prices. And tonight we're gonna stay at another harvest host. This one is a winery in the Finger Lakes. Here we are, Great Western Winery Center at Pleasant Valley Wine Company. Unfortunately, they just closed for the day, but we're gonna be able to spend the night at the parking lot. And we're really close to Kuka Lake, so I bet you if I fly the drone, we're gonna be able to see it. There it is. It's a brand new day, and today the goal is to set foot on the Green Mountain State for the first time. So, Vermont, here we come. We're still a very long way from there, though.
We're back in the Finger Lakes area ever so briefly, and once in a while we get beautiful views of this lake here on our left, but by the time I turn on the camera, it's gone. So today we're going to Vermont, but it's a long way to Vermont. We're gonna have lunch, early lunch here somewhere, and then it's pretty much non-stop. I was gonna pass by Syracuse, but I think we're gonna save that for a different trip.
Oh, check it out, pumpkins! And we're back in Geneva, by the north end of Seneca Lake. And we were here about 5 weeks ago, and I was hoping for more fall colors in this area by now. You know, so I could do like a summer-fall comparison in pictures or video, but everything is pretty much still green. Our first stop will be in Skaneateles for lunch, on the north shore of the lake of the same name. Someone recommended a place called Doug's Fish Fry, and we skipped breakfast, so we're really hungry.
Well, here we are, paid for two spaces, so it should be good, right? Let's go eat.
There's a dining room and a fish fry. I wonder what the difference is. We placed our order and now we wait.
This is supposed to be the gumbo. So. Now for the main event. That hit the right spot. So let's continue. Very casual, but good eating, let me tell you.
And Minitini is still there.
Riding in my RV, wherever I want to be, 'cause I'm free in my RV. Yeah, I'm riding, I'm riding in my RV, wherever I want to be, 'cause I'm free in my RV. Yeah.
We've got one more point of interest in our long journey today, and that is Albany, the state capital. And we're not even gonna stop. I just want to make it to Vermont before the trees turn into sticks. Is that it? Could that possibly be Albany in the distance? Here we are, Albany. Let's drive around a little bit. Let me tell you, it is a busy downtown. Perhaps we shouldn't have done this with the trailer in tow. The building here to the left that looks like a castle, that is the state capitol building. It kind of looks like a Canadian chateau, and in fact, it was in part designed by Thomas Fuller, who also designed the Canadian Parliament building. I wish we could stop and park, but it is too busy a city to be navigating while towing, let alone finding parking. Yeah, let's get out of here. We'll be back. But now, let's go to Vermont.
I'm riding in my RV, wherever I want to be. And 'cause I'm free in my RV, yeah, I'm riding. I'm riding in my RV, wherever I want to be. 'Cause I'm free in my RV.
Vermont has been that last empty space on my contiguous United States map. Even New Hampshire and Connecticut, we've at least driven through them. But up until now, we had never set foot in Vermont.
Welcome to Vermont.
Oh, thank you.
And now we have. Tomorrow we'll begin exploring the Green Mountain State, which I'm kind of disappointed it is still all green. I was hoping for more colorful foliage, to be honest. Will it change as we go up in latitude and elevation? Well, more about that on the next episode. Until then, thank you so much for watching, and see you on the road.
I'm riding in my RV, wherever I want to be. And 'cause I'm free in my RV, yeah, I'm riding. I'm riding in my RV, wherever I want to be. 'Cause I'm free in my RV.